Hey, what's up, buddy? It's Monday. So this happened. Actually, this happened like 3 months ago. But the mail is really slow. Well, it took me like a month to realize that I was hurt, like seriously hurt. Like I knew it hurt, but I wasn't sure how serious it was. It's just like a sprain. But then medical here doesn't provide us with anything because we're civilians. So I actually had to buy this online. It took a while to get here. So today I want to talk to you about planning because like I'm a planner. Like if you know anything about me, I'm sure by now you know I like to plan everything out. I like to have plans for every scenario. Like especially with your mom and I's careers, it's like I'm planning for everything. Oh, could we be in Alaska next year? I don't know. Better start figuring out where we could live in Alaska. But that's just how I am. So I was thinking about how that affects other parts of my life. Like for example, when I invest, I'm not investing for next week. I'm investing for like years out. Like my investment plans, even when I buy individual stocks, which I try not to do, I'm holding them for years. Like everything is far, far off. And I think there's something different about people who plan that way. I think it's fundamentally better. I'm not saying that everything has to be planned out, but I think that people who can see years in the future, figure out where they want to be years in the future, and then navigate that path, generally are more successful. But that also depends on how you define successful. But I know I like that about myself. So I was looking at people and I was trying to figure out like what people do, and I could only put this in terms of like paychecks. So there's people who get paid, and they think about what they want to do with that check in the next coming days, right? And that's like one group of people. Then there's people who are like, okay, next couple of weeks. Those are the people who are like, okay, well, every month I have to pay a mortgage and stuff. They have people who are like months thinkers. They're the ones who are like, oh, I have a vacation coming up in a couple months, so I need to. And there's the years people or even the decades people. And I think the key is to be able to do all these things equally well. Like obviously, you need to be able to get through the next couple days in order to get through the next couple weeks and then months and the years. But I do think, at least my experience with the military, with teaching people about finance, is that it was not easy to teach people to start looking years in advance when it comes to money. Now, part of that is age, part of that is responsibility. I mean, like if you're the type of person who only has to take care of yourself, why do you want to look years in the future? But the thing is, when it comes to planning stuff, and this comes from everything, whether it's finance or education, careers, everything needs to be thought in long terms. Like if you get a job, it's nice that you're worried like what you're gonna do this weekend. But another thought that should at least cross your mind at some point is like, okay, well, where do I want to be in 10 years? Do I still want to be doing this job? Or if I do want to work at this like career field, where do I want to be? Like the military is a good example of that. The military has a very stringent rank structure. So you can be like, oh, okay, well, I'm an E4 now, but in 10 years, I better be an E6 or an E7. And then you figure out where you want to go. You figure out that you already have the destination, which is great. Now all you got to do is figure out the route for it. But that's a plan that takes years to develop. And I think even harder than coming up with the plan is actually fulfilling that plan. I mean, it's hard for people. I mean, you see it when people say, oh, I'm going to work out or I'm going to diet. It's like, yeah, that's an easy thing to say, but it takes literally months and months of execution to perform correctly. And during those months and months and months, you need to be on target pretty much every single day. I mean, you saw it with me when I try to eat healthier. I'll eat 1,500 calories a day for 6 days a week, and then on the fourth day I'll have McDonald's twice a day and a steak and all this alcohol, and end up eating 6 or 7 thousand calories, which completely undoes everything not only did I do for that month or that week, but for the weeks prior. And that's what happens when you're going and you're trying to set yourself a destination. I mean, college is a good example too, because you have to do 4 years to get a 4 year degree. But man, if you just have a couple bad classes, like a couple bad days in classes and your grade drops enough, then you just might have just failed that course. If you fail that course, you're not graduating on time anymore unless you make that up. So it's literally like, okay, this is my goal and I have to achieve it. And you really have to plan ahead and really stay focused. It's sort of like, the analogy of running a marathon. You're not thinking about what you're going to do in a mile. You're thinking about what you're doing in 26 miles. Well, anyway, buddy, that's it for this video. I just want to rant a little bit. I love you. I miss you. I'm proud of you. And stay awesome.